What's going on, Goat World? This is Shaggy Powers, your boy here with Claire.
Hello,
the finest. Pui just got top 4 at the GGP here in Atlanta, hosted by Goat Atlanta, the Atlanta Goat Format Discord server at the CCS Comics and Collectibles store. Claire, tell us what you played today and why you decided to, and let's go ahead and see this spicy deck profile.
Okay, so we are playing Quish Turbo today. This is a deck I've loved for a really long time. Watching the recent tops, and especially NB96's recent top, and watching how the deck changed and reformed, I saw something that really solved a lot of the problems I was having with it. I almost have been like playing it the whole season. I kept having problem with Warriors over and over and over again, but he really fixed a lot of things. Then I got a list from Gangster Bro a little while back. Big shout out to Gangster Bro here, man. You were right about everything, I'd say. I made a bunch of big changes to the list. It kind of got a little close to NBs, but an average of the two. Talking to Shaggy, I almost played Relinquish Control today. I'm so glad I didn't. This deck went crazy. He was right about everything. Big shouts to Shaggy behind the camera there. But without further ado, let's get to the start. We're going to start off with 3 Manju. Main, everything of the deck, main starter of the deck. Please excuse my nasty little comment here that doesn't match the other two. You're going to search a ritual, you're going to search a ritual spell, whichever you need. It's going to be accompanied by the 2 Senju. Yes, you are going to play 5 of these guys. No, I do not care anymore, like I used to, that they might just brick. They are still 1400 beaters, they are still light monsters, and having one in your opening hand every game is so good. So that is why we are also playing 3 Relinquish now, along with the 1 ritual spell. Who cares that the 5th one won't do anything? If we draw all 5, we are very, very happy. You can summon Quish, you can use Quish as discard fodder. If once 1 of these and 2 of these gets in the graveyard, that's a chaos monster, which is great. So we play the Thunder Dragon, that is an insane amount of thinning, and because it is this easy to get a light in the dark in the grave, we are playing DLS as well as 3 Chaos Sorcerer. This was an NB96 innovation to my knowledge. If anyone else did it, big shouts to them as well. Cards really easy to summon in this deck. Cards really good, as you probably know already. So getting to play 3 where other turbo decks get to play 2 is kind of nuts. That's like the main engine monsters. This is the main thing going on. We have a couple of supplemental things. Thing number 1, Breaker the Magical Warrior in the main. I did this over Kaiku. Kaiku got moved to the side. We'll look at it later. For today's meta, I was expecting Reasoning Gate, Burn, Warrior, Earth Aggro, and like some Turbo. And the deck has a good enough matchup against Turbo that I wanted to beat those other matchups that are a little tougher in game 1. So we went with Breaker. It's a big body against Warrior. It pops back row and Floodgates against Panda. It can get rid of a Goat and Reasoning Gate, force it out early, so I wanted to go with that. Speaking of getting rid of Goats, we got Tribe Infecting Virus. I mean, we have discard fodder for days. It's a really good Tribe deck. We have Sangan, because it is a dark that searches. It's not as good in this deck as some other decks, but besides our Manju and Senju, our 2 targets are Tsukiyomi and Sinister Serpent. So I want to talk both about Tsukiyomi and why we aren't playing Magician of Faith here. So for starters, Tsukiyomi can recur with Sanju or Menju. You get another search, so it isn't entirely useless on its own engine in its right. It's got a good sort of thing going against Warriors, can get rid of most of the Warriors, can get rid of most of the Monarchs, can get rid of a lot of things, can turn off an effect for a moment, is a dark, is good as a defensive wall. You can do this, put it down. So it felt worthwhile playing nonetheless. It gets rid of Tear as well, although we have plenty of answers to Tear. But we are not playing Faith because I wanted Nock to be off today. Shaggy made a very, very real prediction that people would be keeping in their Noblemans, that people would be maining Minecon here, which what we saw is true. So not having Faith, they were going to be really dangerous. It was actually a bigger plus for opponents to have dead Nox in hand than to have a set monster in Faith. So that is the monsters. We're going to move on to the spells here. We've got the Trinity, Doi. We have Card Destruction. This is the best Card Destruction deck in GOAT format. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I don't care about Assailant. This is the best one. Simple that, bar none. 2 Upstart Goblins. And I'm going to also say 1 Jar of Greed. If we're searching as much as we do with the Manju, the Senju, and the Thunder Dragon, every time we draw a card, we are more likely to get to these cards, and we are more likely to get to these cards. So we are doing really good every time we draw even a single card, even in a more aggressive deck like this. I was originally on more jars, but Shaggy convinced me that 1 was plenty in real life. He had a very good secret little trick for me, so I liked it quite a lot. In future builds, you can go with 2 if you want. I even went with 3 originally, went down to 1, was fine. We are playing Heavy Storm. We are not maining Mystical Space Typhoon. We don't need it. We are playing 2 Nox. Good card. We are playing Snatch Steal. Good card. Moving on to the traps, we start off with not 1, not 2, but 3 Raigeki Break. Originally, we were also playing a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast. Shout out to Gangster Bro for that one. Turns out, it's Break's just the better card. I'm sorry, guys. Break's just the better card. It's so noticeable when you had the Puebin set of the Break, and 3 Break was plenty. You're constantly searching. You're constantly discarding. If you saw NB's run, you know how it goes. From there, we've got 2 Trap Dust Shoot. He was right about this too. It's a fantastic card. Having a good grip on what your opponent's playing, especially today for me, was huge. I don't think I lost the game where I successfully dust shooted my opponent. I didn't lose many games, period, today, but this card was absolutely amazing, and it gives the deck such a good grip, especially with the breaks. It lets you really have an idea of what you're doing. Then we've got the Jar. And then we have the Trap Trinity, all 3 of them. We actually cut the Jar for the Torrential. In this particular field, Torrential kind of goes crazy. Again, I was expecting Panda, I was expecting Warrior, Earth Aggro, Reasoning Gate, all these decks. Torrential Tribute is just, it's no question whatsoever. In other metas, if you were expecting more turbo than this, like far more, and maybe even Warrior if you want, you can go more Jar of Greed instead. Just find the good stuff earlier. But I don't think it really matters all that much. Deck is a fine Torrential deck. So, that is the main.
Let's go ahead and see that side deck.
Oopsie. I got it. Okay, so for Turbo, here is the Kaiku, here is the Mind Control. You take out the Mirror Force for Mind Control, or the Duo if you're on the draw, I guess, and then you take out the Breaker for Kaiku, and you're playing a slightly better game. Deck already has a great Turbo matchup. This makes it just a little bit better. Then for Control, single Ashura Priest. Deck also has like a pretty good control matchup, basically. If you want, you can bring in the MST. Here is the MST. It is in the side, just to try to snipe a goat. But realistically, just getting rid of the goats when you want to go for it is enough. From there, you can get rid of most of their big face-up threats they do with your Chaos Sorcerers, and with your Ritual Summon even. You can use it on the Tear, or on their Jinzo, or on their Bolter, or whatever the fuck. And you can also use Raigeki Break. So Ashura is plenty. Then for Warrior, we had a lot more, however. So 3 Saku, and then the NB96 technology, the Messenger of Peace, the Peaceful Messenger, the man with the hand. So this guy is crazy, cuckoo crazy good. All our guys attack under it. Most of their guys don't. The only problem is like Dawn, and people aren't really playing Cliff. If Cliff is around, then it's an issue. I was on 2. Shaggy convinced me to go to 3. It was a fantastic card today whenever it was on the table. Absolutely love it. Absolutely great.
You're welcome.
Then going against all that Reasoning Gate we were expecting, combined Messenger of Peace with Hollowed Life Berry instead. This was another Shaggy concept. Fucking fantastic. Amazing. So if they Giant Trunade, just chain this and it's gone. But of course these cards are also good against Burn, so you can use them against Burn along with your Mystic, Space Typhoon, your Dust Tornado, and we are playing the 2 Meme Walk here because we want to be able to win in time. Now, I did not get anywhere near going to time today because I play pretty fast, but we were expecting a decent amount of Panda. I did run into a Panda today, so it felt worthwhile to play. And that, without further ado, is my 55. That is Quish Turbo for GGP Atlanta, 3rd place.
Fantastic. Deck looked awesome. Looked like it performed super well for you all day. Really, really happy for you. Unfortunate that you couldn't get it done, but
Yeah.
again, a fantastic showing for you and for UI as well. Do you have any last shout outs you want to say? Anything else you want to say about the deck before we get out of here as they're kicking us out?
It is time to put Quish Turbo into popular meta. I'm telling you guys, it is absolutely a tier 1 deck. It was really close to getting there before, but it had some problems against Warrior. It doesn't have those problems anymore. It's time to make this a tier 1 deck. So anyone listening, any GoatFormat.com admins, it's time.
Fantastic.
But hope you have a lovely day, folks. Thanks for watching.
Peace out, Goat World.